What would you do if you discovered you were descended from a monster from Greek mythology? After her anger causes a student to turn to stone temporarily, Ava and her older brother Jax are sent to a mysterious boarding school in Venice where they must learn to control their powers to live successfully amongst humans. But the school, run by the Olympians, seems to punish those who speak out against them, like Ava's best friend Fia. Against the incredible powers of the Olympians and their descendants, can Ava and her friends discover the truth and right the wrongs of the past? Before Trevor's stepfather goes to prison, he tells Trevor to promise to protect his sisters. And Trevor takes that to heart, setting down his pencil and his art and instead taking up boxing to not only protect his sisters, but his mom as well for when his stepfather gets out of prison. 2 years later, his stepfather is due to get out soon, and Trevor wonders how, as a kid, he could really protect his mom. What should his hands be used for? Violence or art? Follow Trevor in this quick 135-page story as he considers what path to take. Would you like to move to a town where there was no internet? For Simon and his family, the National Quiet Zone is the exact kind of place they want to live. Simon had a traumatic event in his past and he just wants to fit in. And there he quickly makes friends with a girl who wants to give all the scientists what they are waiting for, signs of life in space. Together they try to figure out how to fake a message from aliens, and it may be just what Simon needs to help him heal. After a wildfire destroys her father's cabin during her summer visit, they go to stay in the beach town where he grew up. There, Maudie feels at peace, a way she has never felt with her mother and stepfather back home. Because she is autistic, her mother doesn't think she can do anything on her own. So while she is enthralled by the idea of learning to surf, she isn't sure she's brave enough. Worse, she's keeping a secret of her home life from her father. Can Maudie find the courage to try something new and speak her truth before summer is over? What happened to Rachel Riley? That is the question on Anna's mind on her first day at a new school when she notices the odd treatment Rachel gets from her peers. She quickly learns that Rachel used to be popular until something happened last year that changed everything. But what that something is, nobody in her class wants to explain. Through the use of emails, texts, articles, notes, and podcast recordings, learn the truth alongside Anna as she investigates this mystery. In the Swift family, every child is named from the family dictionary, a tradition that is meant to explain the future nature of the child. When the Swifts around the world return for the once-a-decade family reunion, a reunion centered around finding a lost treasure in the Swifts' decaying mansion, Shenanigan is thrilled to finally get to participate. She is sure her preparations throughout the year will help her find the treasure, but that mystery takes a back seat after her arch-aunt Schadenfreude is pushed down the stairs. Every year, the 6th graders of Fall Hollow play a game on Halloween night in the woods that are supposedly haunted by a ghost named Abigail. 3 students are chosen to play, and it is believed that if they are all caught before the bell is rung, the spirit will be free to destroy Fall Hollow. For Bailey, she is hoping for the chance to compete to finally lose her outcast status. But Bailey and the others chosen quickly find out that this game is a lot more real than they ever expected. Selena loves being Mexican-American, but at the schools she's attended growing up, she feels like they want her to only embrace her American side, not her vibrant Mexican culture. They discourage her from using Spanish, and history class doesn't include people like her. Because of this, Selena begins to find her voice to stand up against the injustices she sees in her community. Through her grandmother, her new friends, and her love of writing, she finds ways to express herself and love who she is, a warrior girl. Jess prefers to live in her own imagination, rather than dealing with the other kids in middle school. Her and her best friend Olivia create their own stories for their Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game, and it has always just been the two of them. But when Olivia wants to create a club to open their game up to other players, Jess struggles with sharing her best friend and the game they love. Can Jess accept the changes in her life, or will she lose her best friend forever? Would you want to spend 2,000 miles in an RV with your parents? How about if you also had 8 siblings? That is the reality for Pedro, whose family is heading down to Mexico to bring his grandfather back to California to live with them. Pedro has grown up hearing the legendary stories of his abuelito and the Mexican Revolution, but he doesn't know him at all. Full of humor and family stories, Mexikid details Pedro and his family's adventures in Mexico and how he learns to connect with his abuelito.